strange for me to bring up the presidents, but yep, this book about US presidents is how I know. So we're going to be looking in this book for about all the US presidents. Let's get started. And before we start, make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below if you like this video or not. President number 1, George Washington, the very first US president. He was president from 1789 to 1797. And he is known as the father of his country. He was against political parties, and he didn't want to become king because people were like, hey, George Washington, you should become king. And he was like, nope. He didn't want to have all the power, so he became president instead. John Adams, the second president, was president from 1797 to 1801. You see, John Adams was known as the father of American independence. Well, he was a oh shoot, my camera fell. He was a Federalist. That was his political party. John Adams devoted his adult life to the twin causes of creating the United States and securing its long-term survival. Adams, as the president who succeeded or followed George Washington, showed that the nation's most important office could survive a change of leadership. So yeah, he basically followed what George Washington did, and yeah, that's what happened. Thomas Jefferson, the third president from 1801 to 1809. So yeah, Thomas Jefferson. Wait, do you guys remember the Declaration of Independence? Yep. The Declaration of Independence, signed, I think, in 1776. I think that, okay. Well, yeah, Thomas Jefferson created the Declaration of Independence. He's nicknamed the father of the Declaration of Independence. And yeah, he was a Democrat, and that was his political party. He was a Democrat, then he became a Republican. So yeah, before Thomas Jefferson's death, he listed the accomplishments he wanted carved on his gravestone. Serving as the nation's third president did not make his list. Yeah, so that's what happened. You see, Thomas Jefferson, he wanted his accomplishments listed on his grave. So yeah. And then the fourth president, which is my fourth favorite president, James Madison. James Madison was president from 1809 to 1817. He's nicknamed the father of the Constitution and Bill of Rights. And he was a Democrat, then became a Republican. That was his political party. James Madison is remembered most for the hand he had in creating the basic rules for governing the United States, the Constitution, and its Bill of Rights. So yeah. And so yeah, that's what happened. Then James Monroe, the fifth president. He's nicknamed Era of Good Feelings President. So yeah, that was his nickname. James Monroe was the last U.S. president who had been an adult during the Revolutionary War. He presided over a country in the midst, can't pronounce that word, I do not know, of widespread change. New thinking was developed by about the role of political parties, the issue of slavery, and the fate of European colonies in the Americas. So yeah, his political party, he was a Democrat, then became a Republican. So yeah, John Quincy Adams, the 6th president, the son of John Adams. He was president from 1825 to 1829. He was nicknamed Old Man Eloquent. So yeah, he was a Democrat, then became a Republican. So yeah, John Quincy Adams, like his father, earned more lasting fame for his accomplishments beyond the White House than for his presidency. So yeah. Here, let me grab my camera real quick. You can see, hang on, you probably can't see it, but here, let me turn my camera around. Hang on. Can you see it? Let me see. No, you guys probably can't see it, but here. How do I do that here? I probably can't do it. Here, hang on. I'm gonna do the book. Here. That's way better. Right here, hang on. The page is getting in the way. Crap. This picture right here, is him collapsing. It's him collapsed at his desk. And the, when he was elected to Congress after. So yeah. Oh, luckily I clicked it. Okay. Oh my gosh. Everything's happening right now. My camera's falling. I'm trying to show you guys something, so yeah. Shoot. Okay, there we go. That's better. Way better. Okay. Andrew Jackson, the 7th president, was president from 1829 to 1837. Oops. He was nicknamed Old Hickory. His political party was a Democrat to Republican, so yeah. The election of Andrew Jackson put in the White House for the first time a man who seemed to represent the background and ambitions of ordinary Americans. So yeah. So now, Martin Van Buren, the 8th president, was president from 1837 to 1841. He was nicknamed Little Magician. He started the Democrat political party, which he was a Democrat. Martin Van Buren earned the respect and support of the Democratic Party by devil politics. Devil politics. I do not know how to pronounce it. But he was the first U.S. president to be born a United States citizen. Hang on. There we go. So yeah. William Henry Harrison, the 9th president, was president for... Why does my camera keep falling? Okay, there we go. Camera, don't fall again. I'll get pretty mad if you do. So yeah, William Henry Harrison was only president for 1 month. March 4th, 1841 to April 4th, 1841. He He was nicknamed Tippecanoe because of this. William Henry Harrison's efforts to take over Native Americans' land made tribal leader Tecumseh furious during their 1810 meeting. So yeah, I learned this video. I saw a video about this, and this YouTuber named Mr. Beat. If you guys do not know him, well, yeah, guys do not probably don't subscribe to him. But yeah, his political party was a Whig. I do not know what that means, but yeah, he was a Whig. Yeah. And William Henry Harrison had a presidency of Reams. At age 68, he was the oldest person at that point in time to become president. Not in history, but that point in time. Yeah. John Tyler, the 10th president, was president from 1841 to 1845. His nickname was His Excellency. Yes. So yeah, he was a Whig, that's his political party. John Tyler was the first vice president to complete a different chief executive's term. So yeah, he was William Henry Harrison's vice president, and he completed his term. So yeah, James Polk, the 11th president, was president from 1845 to 1849. His nickname was Young Hickory. Okay, so Andrew Jackson, the 7th president's nickname is Old Hickory, while James K. Polk, the 11th president, is Young Hickory. Okay. And yeah, he was a Democrat. That's his political party. And yeah, using a combination of war and rough diplomacy, James Knox Polk, Knox is his middle name, significantly increased the nation's size. So yeah. And then we have Zachary Taylor, the 12th president, was the 2nd president to die in office. William Henry Harrison was the 1st. Zachary Taylor was president from 1849 to 1850. He was nicknamed Old Rough and Ready. He was a Whig, that's his political party. And yeah, he was only president for 1 year. Zachary Taylor was a soldier by training, not a politician, but he discovered unexpected similarities between those two professions after becoming president. So yeah, he was better off as an army person, like as a leader instead of being president. I mean, yeah, when he was a leader, he was way better, but when he became president, he did not know what to do. Millard Fillmore, the 13th president, was president from 1850 to 1853. He did not die in office, though, even though he only served for 3 years. Nobody knows why. His nickname was the last of the Whigs. And yeah, his political party, of course, was a Whig. Millard Fillmore offered compromise in contrast to the threatening style of his predecessor, as a way to end the ongoing tense debate over slavery. Yeah. Franklin Pierce, 14th president, was president from 1853 to 1857. Yeah, you can say that he was one of the worst presidents in the United States history. Yeah. His nickname was Handsome Frank, and he was a Democrat, that was his political party. But yeah, when Franklin Pierce became president, the national debate about slavery had quieted. I mean, Pierce, a man with an undistinguished record in public office, renewed the controversy by supporting the option of slavery in Kansas Territory. Yep. And yeah, he was one of the worst presidents, you can say that, but here, the next president was the worst. James Buchanan, the worst president in U.S. history, was president from 1857 to 1861. Yep. His nickname was 10-Cent Jimmy. Okay, I guess, yeah, James is a nickname for Jimmy. And yeah, he was a Democrat, that was his political party. And yeah, James Buchanan, in an effort to hold the Union together, offered offered concession after concession to the South, regardless of the anger his actions provoked in the North. So yeah, he was the worst president of the United States, you can say that. Now, here's one of the best presidents of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, the third president to die in office and the first president assassinated. He was nicknamed Honest Abe. Yeah. His political party was a Republican, formerly a Whig. So all those Whigs mean Republican. So that's what they mean. And yeah, when Abraham Lincoln was inaugurated in 1861, he became president of states that were not united. In fact, after arguing for years about slavery and states' rights, Northerners and Southerners were on the brink of civil war, internal. So yeah, and then we have Andrew Johnson, the 17th president of the United States. He was president from 1865 to 1869. His nickname was Veto President here. He was born, okay, no, what, never mind. He was a Democrat. That was his political party. The crisis of war between the states was followed by a crisis within the U.S. presidency. It began with the assassination of Abraham Lincoln and continued through the presidency of his successor, Andrew Johnson. Yeah, Andrew Johnson was Lincoln's vice president, and Lincoln got assassinated, and Andrew Johnson became president right after Abraham Lincoln. So yeah. Ulysses Grant was president from 1869 to 1877. His nickname was Unconditional Surrender Grant. Okay. By the end of the Civil War, Ulysses Simpson Grant was the highest ranking U.S. general since George Washington. Dang. His actual name was Hiram. Someone just wrote Ulysses by accident. I do not know. But his political party, he was a Republican. That was his political party. Rutherford Hayes. He was president from 1877 to 1881. His nickname was his fraudulency. Okay. He was a Republican in political party. Rutherford Burchard Hayes started his administration amid controversy. Politicians argued about how to count the national election returns. And yeah, that's what happened. And then James Garfield. He was president for only 6 months until he got assassinated. His nickname was Preacher President, and he was a Republican. That was his political party. James Abram Garfield, like William Henry Harrison, barely had a chance to establish himself as president before death removed him from office. He was shot by an assassin early in the term and died 79 days later. And yeah, Grover Cleveland, the 22nd and 24th president from 1885 to 1889, and when the second term was 1893 to 1897. His nickname was Uncle Jumbo. Okay, he was a Democrat. That was his political party. Grover Cleveland was the first Democrat to be elected president after the Civil War. Although he lost his re-election bid in 1888 to Benjamin Harrison, he returned to the White House 4 years later after winning a rematch in the 1892 election. And yeah, you all know who's the next president because we just said it. Benjamin Harrison, the grandson of William Henry Harrison. He was president from 1889 to 1893. His nickname was Little Ben. And he was a Republican, his political party. Benjamin Harrison's single term of office was sandwiched which by the two presidential terms of Grover Cleveland. Harrison and Cleveland competed for the presidency in the consecutive elections of 1888 and 1892. And yeah, the next president was William McKinley, the 25th. He was president from 1897 to 1901. Yay, the 20th century. His nickname was Idol of Ohio. He was a Republican. That was his political party. William McKinley was the last chief executive who fought in the Civil War. However, McKinley's witness of an earlier era did not stop him from pushing the nation and his office into modern times. Yep, and in 1901, he was assassinated. Yep, he was assassinated. And yeah, guess who took over? You guys all love this president? So do I. Theodore Roosevelt. Roosevelt was president from 1901 to 1909. His nickname was TR? I thought it was Teddy Roosevelt. Okay, but yeah, he was a Republican, his political party. Theodore Roosevelt took charge of the White House after the assassination of William McKinley. So yeah, William Taft was president from 1901 to 1913. And his nickname was Big Bill. I mean, yeah, he was the heaviest president of the United States, for crying out loud. He was a Republican political party. William Taft was elected president in 1908. As Theodore Roosevelt's hand-picked successor, he lacked Roosevelt's charisma, whatever the heck that means, and administrative talent. However, and lost popularity as his term progressed. Yep. Woodrow Wilson, the 28th president, was president from 1913 to 1921. His nickname was Professor, and he was a Democrat, his political party. As president, Woodrow Wilson ushered important legislation through Congress. However, World War I became the greatest challenge of his 2 terms in office. Yeah, World War I sucks. Wars suck. Warren Harding was president from 1921 to 1923. He died in office also. Same with William McKinley. He also died in office. But yeah, Harding also died in office. He had a heart attack. And yeah, his nickname was Wobbly Warren. Okay. And he was a Republican, his political party. When he was a young man, Warren Harding's friends thought he looked like a president. Harding's presidential profile helped him carry him to the White House, but it did not prepare him for the challenges of the job. Calvin Coolidge, the 30th president, was president from 1923 to 1929. Hold on. Calvin Coolidge's high standard of conduct restored. Oh, hang on. His nickname was Silent Cow. Yeah, Silent Cow, and he was a Republican. Political party, yeah. Calvin Coolidge's high standard of conduct restored trust in the presidency following the sudden death of his predecessor. Okay, yep. Herbert Hoover, 31st president. His nickname was Chief. And he was a Republican, his political party. He was president from 1929 to 1933. When the stock market crashed in October 1929, only a few months after Herbert Hoover had taken office, the president found himself responsible for a different nation from the one he had planned to lead. Yep, the Great Depression happened, and yep, everyone and Herbert Hoover did nothing about it. That's why he was a really crappy president. Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Yeah, Delano's his middle name. He was president from 1933 to 1945. His nickname was FDR, obviously. He was a Democrat, his political party. Not since the days of Abraham Lincoln did a president face such challenges as those met by Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Harry Truman was president from 1945 to 1953. His nickname was, you've You've got to be kidding me. I don't... Give him H. Harry. Give him H. Harry. And yeah, he was born... No, not that. He was a Democrat. And when Harry Truman became president after the sudden death of Franklin Roosevelt, he was stunned. Yeah. It's 25 minutes of this video. And I think I should do a part 2 of this. So I will do a part 2 soon. Hope you guys liked the video and subscribe. Bye.